This Thursday, September 18th, at exactly 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the brand new trailer will premiere, and with it comes a storyline so bold, so emotional, that fans will be left shaken. For years, fans have lived in the shadow of Ty's memory, watching Amy struggle to raise Lindy, searching for peace in her grief, and holding on to the fragile thread of what Heartland once was. But Season 19 shatters that fragile comfort. By erasing the traces of Ty's lingering presence, the show is forcing Amy, and every fan watching, to step into an unknown future. Nathan's arrival is not a small shift in character. It is a declaration. He is not just another man passing through Heartland. He is being woven into the very fabric of the ranch. His soothing nature, his quiet strength, and his willingness to stand in the storm that has defined Amy's life create an atmosphere of possibility, but also of unease. Fans who loved Ty will feel betrayed. Those who craved change will feel vindicated. And through this clash, Heartland is setting the stage for its most divisive emotional season yet. But the changes don't stop there. Georgie, once the fiery, determined young woman who carved her place in the rodeo world, now finds herself at the center of the season's opening act. A wedding should be joyous, but here it becomes a storm. Who she chooses, why she chooses him, and how her marriage redefines her connection to the ranch will all ripple outward, impacting Amy, Lou, Tim, and even Jack. Nothing about this wedding feels simple. In fact, the closer it gets, the more secrets come to light. Whispers of doubts, questions of loyalty, and the heavy silence of unspoken truths hang over the celebration. Fans will ask themselves, is this truly Georgie's dream? Or is it a step into something darker, something that binds her to Heartland in ways she never imagined? At the core of this premiere lies a daring question. Can Heartland survive without its ghosts? The trailer's arrival at 7 p.m. this Thursday is not just about seeing glimpses of Amy, Nathan, or Georgie's wedding. It is about facing the fact that the show is reinventing itself. The warmth of the past cannot be relied on. The writers are stripping away nostalgia and forcing the characters to move forward, whether we're ready or not. This isn't about replacing Ty with Nathan. It's about daring to ask if Heartland can stand on its own when the most comforting part of its history is gone. That is the gamble Season 19 takes. And the result will either reignite the love fans hold for this story, or divide them forever. The storm that Heartland Season 19 promises is not just a storm of love and marriage, it is a storm of identity. And nowhere is that clearer than in Amy's journey. For years, Amy has been defined by her connection to Ty, her role as a mother, and her devotion to the horses that anchor her soul. But now, the writers have ripped away the comfort of Ty's lingering presence, and for the first time, Amy is left to stand alone, stripped of the memories that carried her through. Nathan's arrival may feel like a gift, a man with gentle words, a steady hand, and the ability to bring calm to her chaos. But in truth, Nathan's presence is a test of whether Amy can truly move forward or whether she will forever remain bound to the past. This is not the safe love story many expected. It is a love story sharpened by grief, shadowed by guilt, and complicated by the fear of betraying Ty's memory. Every glance, every word, every choice Amy makes will feel like a knife twisting in the heart of fans who still cling to what Heartland once was. At the same time, Lou finds herself trapped in her own whirlwind. As mayor, as mother, and as sister, Lou has always tried to carry the weight of the world on her shoulders. But with Georgie's wedding arriving like a tidal wave, Lou is forced to face a truth she cannot ignore. Heartland is changing, and she cannot control it. Her instinct to protect Georgie clashes with her desire to let her spread her wings. And as secrets begin to surface around the marriage, Lou's doubts become more dangerous. Is Georgie truly marrying for love? Or is she being drawn into a choice that will bind her to the ranch in ways even Lou cannot foresee? The wedding becomes not just a celebration but a battlefield, where family loyalties are tested and where every smile hides a crack waiting to shatter. And then there's Jack. the heart and soul of Heartland. Jack has weathered loss, betrayal, and more storms than any man should endure. But even Jack cannot escape the shifting tide of Season 19. Nathan's presence unsettles him. To Jack, Nathan is not simply a man offering Amy support. He is a reminder that life refuses to stand still. Jack's quiet suspicion, his guarded words, and his protective instincts toward his family set the tone for conflict simmering beneath the surface. For the first time in years, Jack's authority feels uncertain. Will the family listen to his warnings, or will they push forward into a future he cannot control? His voice, steady and strong, may be the only anchor left as Heartland tears itself away from the past and races into unknown waters. Meanwhile, Tim continues to stir chaos in ways only Tim can. Proud, stubborn, and determined to protect his family even when his actions cause more harm than good, Tim views Georgie's marriage through a lens of suspicion. His words cut deep, and his doubts echo louder than he realizes. Season 19 promises that Tim will once again be the spark that lights fires no one else can put out. But this time, the consequences may be greater. His refusal to trust Nathan, his clashes with Lou, and his inability to step back from Georgie's choices create fractures that spread through the family like cracks in ice. Fans who know Tim's history will recognize the dangerous pattern. His love often comes wrapped in destruction. And in a season already defined by risk, Tim's fire may be the blaze that threatens to consume everything. At the center of it all, Georgie stands torn between love and loyalty, freedom and duty. Her wedding becomes the ultimate symbol of Season 19's daring new path. It is not a fairy tale. It is a reckoning. A moment where promises are made, but at what cost? Every decision she makes pulls on the fragile threads that hold Heartland together. And as the trailer prepares to drop at 7 p.m. this Thursday, fans must prepare themselves for the truth. Georgie's marriage will either bring unity or ignite war. The celebration may begin with vows, laughter, and hope. But lurking beneath is a question no one dares to ask out loud. Is this wedding the start of a new beginning, or the beginning of the end? The deeper we look into Heartland Season 19, the more it becomes clear that this is not simply a continuation of a beloved series, it is a reinvention. The writers have ripped open wounds that were never fully healed, daring to place characters in situations that will test every ounce of their strength. And nowhere is this more haunting than in Amy's struggle with Nathan's quiet presence. On the surface, Nathan appears to be exactly what Amy needs: calm, reliable, someone who doesn't demand too much but offers support when she falters. Yet that is where the danger lies. His steadiness begins to feel too perfect, too well-timed, as if the universe itself is trying to erase Ty from memory by planting Nathan in his place. Fans will feel the weight of this shift. They will sense Amy's hesitation, her unspoken guilt, and the whispers of doubt she hides even from herself. Love after loss is never simple, and in this season, it will not be clean. It will be messy, complicated, and heartbreaking, forcing Amy into choices that no one is ready to see her make. But Amy is not the only one carrying heavy burdens. Lou, always desperate to keep the family intact, finds herself fighting battles on multiple fronts. The mayor's office pulls her one way, Heartland pulls her another, and now Georgie's wedding splits her heart in half. For Lou, the ceremony should be a triumph, a sign that her family has endured and grown stronger. Instead, it becomes a mirror reflecting the cracks in their unity. Every decision she makes, whether to support Georgie fully or to challenge her choices, feels like a gamble with devastating consequences. Fans will see Lou unravel in ways she has never allowed herself to before. The polished, composed exterior that once defined her is beginning to fray, and beneath it lies a woman struggling to accept that no matter how hard she tries, she cannot protect everyone she loves from heartbreak. And then comes Georgie. The bride, the rider, the daughter who once defied every odd thrown her way. She is no longer a child. She is a woman making decisions that ripple through the entire ranch. Her wedding should be the pinnacle of joy, but the atmosphere surrounding it feels heavy with tension. There are secrets about her choice of partner, Whispers about whether her heart belongs entirely to him or whether her loyalty to Heartland is driving her decisions. Questions about her future in the rodeo world mix uneasily with doubts about her ability to balance marriage and her own dreams. Georgie stands at a crossroads, and every step she takes feels like a choice between freedom and obligation. This is not a fairy tale wedding written in golden light, it is a turning point, and fans will watch with their hearts in their throats as Georgie dares to step into a future that might not be the one she truly desires. Jack, meanwhile, embodies the old soul of Heartland, but even he cannot deny that the world he built is slipping through his fingers. His wisdom has always been the rock others cling to, yet Season 19 threatens to shake even Jack's certainty. Nathan's arrival disturbs him in ways he struggles to express. It is not jealousy, it is fear. Fear that the bond Amy had with Ty is being rewritten, fear that Nathan's quiet presence may lead the family down a path that dishonors the past. Jack's watchful eye will pick up every detail, every moment that doesn't feel right. But what happens when no one listens? What happens when the family he has spent his life protecting chooses to embrace change he cannot accept? Jack's quiet warnings may turn into desperate pleas, and his silence, once a source of strength, may become the most painful sound of all. And looming behind it all is Tim, always the wildfire, always the storm. He cannot sit still and watch the family drift into waters he doesn't trust. His mistrust of Nathan grows louder, sharper, threatening to fracture relationships that are already fragile. Tim's words cut like knives, his doubts fuel conflicts that spread like fire, and yet beneath his anger lies something else. Fear of being left behind. He has fought so hard to find his place at Heartland, and every change threatens to push him out again. Fans know that when Tim feels cornered, he lashes out, and this season, his fire could ignite more than arguments. It could destroy bonds that may never heal. Heartland Season 19 is shaping into something both breathtaking and terrifying. The announcement of its return at 7 p.m. Eastern this Thursday is not just about a premiere date. It is about preparing fans for a season that will break rules, shatter expectations, and test loyalties. Georgie's wedding, Amy's new path with Nathan, Lou's unraveling, Jack's warnings, and Tim's fire, all of it builds into a storm so fierce that Heartland may never be the same again. And the truth is chilling. By the time the first episode ends, fans will realize that the Heartland they once knew has been left behind forever. The countdown to September 18th, 7 p.m. Eastern, feels heavier with every passing day, because the closer we get to the trailer's release, the more undeniable the truth becomes. Heartland is tearing down its past in order to rebuild its future. For fans, this is thrilling and terrifying in equal measure. Season 19 is no longer about healing from Ty's death, it is about erasing him completely, removing the safety net of his memory, and forcing Amy and the entire family to stand in the rawness of change. Nathan's calm presence may seem like a balm, but what happens when calmness begins to suffocate? The more Nathan appears at Amy's side, the more it feels like the writers are asking us to let go of Ty once and for all. And that is not an easy ask. The ache of Ty's absence is not just part of the story, it is part of the fans themselves. To replace that pain with something new feels almost like betrayal. And yet, without that step, the series risks staying frozen in grief. This is the gamble. Either Nathan becomes the bridge to a new chapter, or he becomes the wedge that drives the family and the fan base apart. Georgie's wedding looms at the heart of this gamble, a glittering event wrapped in shadows. Weddings in Heartland have always carried the weight of joy, but this one feels like something different. A binding. A choice that seals more than just two lives together. Questions swirl around the man she has chosen. Questions the trailer is rumored to tease but not fully answer. Is his love pure, or is there something hidden beneath his vows? And what of Georgie herself? Fans who have followed her since childhood know she has always chased freedom, always sought her own path. So why does this marriage feel more like surrender than victory? Is Georgie marrying for herself or for Heartland? The tension in this choice will ripple through the family like shockwaves, and even in the moments of celebration, there will be silence heavy enough to choke the joy out of the air. Lou, pulled in every direction, becomes the fragile thread that could snap under the weight of it all. Her mayoral duties leave her absent at critical moments. Her need to control clashes with Georgie's independence, and her role as a sister forces her to watch Amy step into a love story she doesn't fully trust. Lou's arc in season 19 is not about triumph. It is about breaking. For the first time, her voice, once so steady, will tremble. Her confidence will falter, and the cracks in her facade will expose the raw truth. Lou is terrified of losing the family she has sacrificed everything to protect. Jack, too, feels the walls of his world closing in. For decades, Heartland has been his fortress, a place where he could cling to tradition and protect the values passed down through generations. But season 19 refuses to honor his silence. It pushes him, forces him to confront truths he does not want to face. Nathan unsettles him, Georgie's choices disturb him, Lou's unraveling worries him, and through it all, Jack begins to question if his word still carries weight. This is a devastating question, because if Jack's authority no longer holds the family together, then what does? Watching Jack face the possibility that his time as Heartland's anchor is ending will be one of the season's most heartbreaking threads. And Tim, always the fire, always the one to say what no one else dares, becomes both a warning and a weapon. His mistrust of Nathan deepens, his clashes with Lou intensify, and his protective instinct toward Georgie borders on obsession. Season 19 promises to push Tim into dangerous territory. His anger is no longer just about pride, it is about survival. He sees the fractures spreading across the family, and instead of calming the storm, he pours fuel into it. But here lies the danger. The more Tim fights, the more he risks driving everyone further apart. His passion, once a force of strength, could become the spark that burns the very heart of Heartland. The trailer's arrival will not just be a glimpse of what's coming, it will be a warning. Heartland Season 19 is not the story of comfort, healing, and tradition. It is the story of change, of endings, and of choices that cannot be undone. By the time Georgie walks down the aisle, by the time Amy chooses whether or not to let Nathan into her heart, by the time Jack's voice trembles and Lou's certainty cracks, fans will realize that this is not the same Heartland they grew up with. This is something darker, bolder, and more dangerous. And the only question left is whether fans are ready to walk into this storm or whether they will turn away from the ranch they once thought they knew.